Hello, everybody. We are live, and I'm here with Lisa, and you are a centrist
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
from New Zealand, right? Or
Um, yeah,
so, were you a feminist before you were a centrist?
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much I was. Like I was kind of like sympathetic to the whole like sort of like social justice movement. I was like, but then it just, I don't know what happened. It just got so they started like, getting really involved in like university and stuff and just, started like all these campaigns like to sort of censor Twitter and everything like that. And I just was like, okay, this is getting too much. It was getting like, we can't, they weren't like treating women as people. They were just sort of treating them as, you know, like putting them on a pedestal, like they can't handle criticism and all that.
Okay, so even in New Zealand, feminism has been about putting women on a pedestal.
Yeah, it's sort of turned into that. It kind of used to be about women's empowerment, but now it's just like, women can't handle criticism and stuff like that. It's not like it's just kind of just it's not really much of I don't see much of it about empowering women and they're really at least at my university they're quite intolerant of women who have different opinions. Like they've tried to ban, um, pro-life groups and things like that.
The same thing is true in like America. You must have heard about, how they feel about like Lauren Southern, for example, or Ben Shapiro. Like if you have a different opinion, I mean, and Lauren Southern is a woman, but it's kind of a lot like, if you have a different opinion, they don't seems like people all that much that has an opinion different from them. And I would say that, like, yes, all feminists are different. It's kind of like, I know that there's going to be some people mad and angry and go, well, I'm a feminist and I'm not like that. Okay,
Yeah.
so all feminists are like that,
Yeah.
rent feminist doesn't seem all that bad. Like, renting feminist seems like a cool feminist, but, it's just
Yeah,
like,
she even stuck up for Sago and she was like, I don't think he should be censored and she doesn't even like him. Whereas all the other feminists were like, no, he should be banned, whereas she was the only one who said that he shouldn't be banned.
yes, so it's kind of like ranting feminist. It's like one of the cool feminists, and like Micaiah B actually a lot. Okay, Micaiah B is transgender, and Micaiah B is
Oh.
on hormones. Micaiah B is actually taking a testosterone, and he actually helped me with one of my videos about helping veterans. Not only did Micaiah B help me with my videos on helping veterans, but he allowed me to interview him last year, and he was nice and pleasant and kind the whole entire time.
Oh, that's good. That's really nice. I also find even though I don't agree with a lot of her opinions, but I think Marina Shut Up is not that bad. She seems quite nice. And, she'd be someone who's nice to have a conversation with, even if I don't agree with a lot of what she says.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but isn't Rez a feminist? I'm not
I
entirely
don't
sure.
I
I
don't know
don't.
who Rez is. Yeah, sorry, I don't know who that is.
I found Rez recently, and I think Rez is a feminist, but I'm not sure because she called herself a social justice warrior. So I don't know if Rez is a feminist or not, but so far she seems nice. But it seems like she had this conflict with a Christiosity. I don't know what this
Oh,
I don't know what the conflict is about, but it seems like Rez and Christiosity used to be friends, but it seems like they now have issues with each other, and I have no idea what all that's about, but it's none of my business. It's between, those two, and I try not to intervene with other
mm,
people's business.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because it's like if they want to keep that to themselves, they have that right to privacy.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And yeah, oh, is Rez the one that is she the one that finds bearing funny?
Yeah, this Riz, like she actually interviewed Bering once. I didn't see the whole entire thing. I've only saw the beginning of it, but she was having like a nice little chit chat with Bering, though.
Oh, oh, that's nice.
Right. So, I've noticed, and I'm pretty sure you probably noticed too, like, I didn't want to bring this up because I thought I was beating a dead horse, and I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be that person who beat up a dead horse and keeps talking about things, and
Oh
so
yeah.
yeah, I just didn't want to be that person. So I thought I'll keep quiet. I won't bring this up ever again, and it will die down. But I was
Mm.
totally mistaken, and it seems like the feminist community hates centrists, basically. I, in
Yeah,
my
I
timeline,
yeah, same with me. I've noticed that it's like this attitude where centrists are basically the same as the alt-right or Nazis, and it's just like we just don't like either extreme, and I don't see what's wrong with saying that you don't like either extreme.
yeah, I mean, they've been hostile lately, like very, very hostile. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah, like they just been complaining, and it's kind of like, what? I mean, centrists are just people who don't like two sides of an extreme, but now, like, centrists are Nazis, basically. That's what, like, Tim Coffin says in, like, Rant Sinker Monkey, like, made a video response to it, but, like, it's Peter Coffin, like, I think it's supposed to be Peter Coffin, and he was a lot like, I mean, what are you, like a Nazi on the weekends? Are you just kind of Nazi? He thinks centrists are Nazis. And that's like the biggest straw man ever. And it's like, I saw him straw man you. I like saw him saying that, like, centrist like promotes nuking, and it seems like he was trying to straw man you.
Yeah, he was, because what he had said was that it was really, he had his original post was something like, oh, it's kind of stupid to expect that no president will be involved in war, and I agreed with him, and then he said that I was like acting, I was just saying that there was no difference between any of the presidents, which is what I wasn't doing. And but he kept doubling down, and he did that today. He didn't do it to me, but he did it again today to people who, when they called him out on saying that picture was racist, and he just said that centrists were being really whiny and offended and stuff like that, and basically defending Nazis, and that just wasn't happening.
Yeah, I mean, and shoot on head. Try to tell him the boy is wearing a free speech shirt.
Yeah,
He noticed
exactly.
the free speech shirt. It was like, oh my goodness, how could you not notice that the little boy is wearing a free speech shirt?
I
Oh,
know. Yeah, I know. That was the first thing I saw. Because I looked at the pic and I was like, okay, what's wrong with this picture? And then I saw it and it was like, oh, free speech. That's what the ACLU stands for. So, like, what is wrong with this picture other than the baby's white? So what?
Yeah, like he was like saying, well, the baby's white, so it's promoting like white supremacy, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a lot like he did talk he talked about how like they defend free speech advocates' rights to speech, like the free speech rallies, but it's kind of okay. Let me put it this way: when Tim Blake, when he got suspended from Twitter for a week one time, it's like, what about free speech? What about free speech? What about free speech? And I
Yes.
noticed, like when Kevin Logan, he got like two channels shut down, and then I haven't seen Tim Blake say this specifically, but their circle of friends, their little circle of friends, because we all know who hangs out with each other. They're
Yeah.
all like, "What about free speech? What about free speech?" They were even tweeting at Sargon, and Sargon made like a video response to them, but they were like begging. They were like sending tweets to Sargon, like, "Sargon, say something. Sargon, say something." And
Yeah.
it's like it's like, what? You guys hate Sargon. And then like later on, Christy Winters is trying to get like Sargon deplatform. It's like, so I mean, and the reason why I say this because they have this circle of friends.
Mm.
It's like they are all friends with each other. And it's kind of like, it's just so weird to just be asking Sargon, like, Sargon, what are you going to say? Like, Sargon, say something. Sargon, say something. And it's like, just
Yeah.
somebody else is a friend of yours, like, yeah, Christy Winters, like, yeah, we're just going to try to deplatform Sargon from attending NitCon. It's like, why did you ask him for help? You asked the guy to help just to try to screw him up for later.
That's what they do always. They're always like that is so true. They're always like that. They're like, "Oh, why ain't you guys like the free speech warriors?" That's what they call like Sargon and Bering and all those people. They're like, "Why ain't you standing up for us?" And then they try and deplatform them. It's just so ridiculous. I don't understand them. I feel like that is the culture war stuff, you know?
Yeah, and the culture war stuff is so silly and
I tot
childish.
I totally agree with you. It's ridiculous. It stops, the discussion of ideas. You just see people being petty with each other and there's just no discussion of ideas.
Yeah, it's just so petty and childish. It's kind of like and like they would change their name. Like I saw like a screenshots of Christy Winters like adding Carl to her name, and it's
Yeah.
just so it's all so very very childish.
Mm. And especially from her, because she always goes on about how much of a serious academic she is, and then she acts like that. Did you watch her debate with the distributist?
No, I haven't seen that.
He, he did so well in that debate. Like, um, he pretty much destroyed her, and she hasn't I don't think she seems to like hate Sargon more than the distributors, but she would like never block Sargon, you know what I mean? It was really it's really strange. Like she really hates Sargon and Bering, but she would never block them.
It's like okay, like I'll say this. Christy once just blocked me, and I don't know why. I don't remember ever talking to her. Like that's the strange thing. I don't remember ever speaking to her, like ever, but she has me blocked. But she
Oh,
hates Sargon. And not only that, but many people have been blocked by her. Many people
yeah, many
are,
people have.
yeah, many people are blocked by her, but she like hates Sargon, and she would like never ever block him. And so like I just have to share something with you right quick. I'm going to screen share, and
Yeah,
I am not sure if it's going to show up, but we'll try. Can you see this tweet by Otto Kassem?
yeah, yeah, I can see it.
And it's kind of
I,
like apparently four of the six most pressing topics in feminism are bearing crowds crowds Sargon and Friended. And it just shows how much Christy Winters talks at those people. She acts bearing the most, crowds the second most. I don't know who those two are. I know that okay, I know that that's Tim. I know that's Tim Blake. Then that's Sargon and that's Friended. But other than Tim Blake, and the anti-feminist people, I don't really recognize all the. Oh,
yeah.
I do know who Wooly Bumblebee is. Though.
Is she that one that made that video about V and was kind of saying that he's like a child molester or something?
I think so. There has been like a lot of controversy surrounding her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. They're a very strange community. God, I don't understand what their goal is to tell you the truth. I don't get
Yeah,
their I don't get what they want to achieve.
yeah. I don't get it either. And I
Mm.
don't. I really do not understand why anybody would want to strawman you.
Yeah, I mean it's Twitter, you know, that people get like I feel like people just get real defensive really quickly and they can't see you, so they think that, you know, you mean something else when you really don't. But in Tim's case, I feel like sometimes he does it. I don't know if he does it deliberately or he just doesn't understand. Um, yeah,
Okay, so there is something else I would like to share with you, but let me get back on screen share. And
yeah.
just let me know if it pops up. Do you see this?
I see this so many times and it annoys me so much.
It is so annoying. So let us just try to like go through this all together because like I'm a centrist too, and this also annoys me too because it is by people who don't understand centrism. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like okay, let's start with the first one. I don't agree with what you have to say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. And here's my response to it. Okay, so not that long ago,
Hmm.
Sargon of Akkad, he he flagged Christianity and he got
Yeah.
Christianity suspended on Twitter. Now,
Mm.
The ranting monkey, he is a centrist,
Yeah.
and and the thing is, this is what he said to defend Christianity. Like he did a live stream. He did a live stream with some dumb American, and he said, when it comes to Christianity, I do not agree with what you have to say, but I would defend to the death to the right for your right to say it. And he said that's in defense of Christianity. So it's kind of weird that Tim Blake is complaining about centrism when centrists came to Christianity's defense. And
That
if it wasn't for the centrists, Christianity wouldn't have any supports at all.
that's really true actually. Yeah, that's right. I mean, because I saw ranting monkeys video as well, and he was right. Yeah. I mean, I think also Jeff did the same thing when Christy Winters got banned. He also made a video that she shouldn't have been banned and everything, and he is a centrist too. So yeah, totally agree.
And see, the feminist community, they don't pay attention that while they are crapping all over centrists, they have benefited from centrism because if it wasn't for the centrists, they would receive no support. They would just, people would flag them and then nothing would be said. It, they have no idea how much these centrist arguments have actually helped them.
Yeah, definitely. So
And
true.
so, and so for them to be the number one people complaining about centrists when they are the number one people who've benefited from centrists, it's so ironic.
It really is. It really is. And it's all because centrists don't like Antifa either. So, and it's just ridiculous.
And okay, like here's the second one. We want civil rights. We want to kill black people. And the centrist is like compromise. And it's like you clearly don't understand what centrism is
No.
about. Like, of course I want civil rights. I'm a
Yeah.
black. Of course I want civil rights.
Yeah, exactly. What a silly position. I mean, basically, I think what they're saying is they're against like centrists saying that the KKK, no matter how disgusting what they say is, that they have a right to say, to rally and stuff as long as they're not violent. And so do, Black Lives Matter. They have a right to protest and rally as long as they're not, being calling for violence or anything.
Yeah, it's kind of like when people say such things such as we want rights, we want to kill black people, compromise, they clearly don't know what centrism is, so let's explain it.
No.
Centrism is kind of like, okay, like me, I am for gay rights. I am firmly for gay rights. I believe in gay marriage. I believe that gays should be allowed to adopt children. But I am also for capitalism. So it's kind of like if you were to take a political compass test and you have some right wing views like
And
capitalism and
yeah.
and you have like left wing views like if people want to watch pornography in their bedroom then the government shouldn't intervene then like that centrism. It's when you have like left leaning and right leaning viewpoints. That's all that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Like I'm against euthanasia, but I'm like for, socialized healthcare and, you know, education and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, like here's another one. It's kind of like reasonable amounts of wars. Peace is just not realistic. It's
Who
complicated.
says
Okay, I guess.
who says that? Like honestly. I don't know. I think foreign policy is a lot more complicated than people make it out to be. I mean, I'm not a foreign policy expert. I was against the Iraq war, but I know that the US can't just pull out of all these countries because they've got allies and they've made, deals and everything, so they can't just pull out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, the last one is so silly. This person is about to be beheaded by the guillotine, and this like I don't really care about oh my goodness.
That's so stupid.
It's so stupid. Yeah, it's not like centrism is just like you have left leaning views. I mean, you have right leaning views like you're for capitalism, for
Yeah.
example, and you're for charity, like for example, and you have like left-leaning views, like you are against the death penalty, for
Yeah.
example, and you're for
Yeah.
gay rights, for example, because
Yeah.
right-leaning views it's like a box, and left-leaning um, views it's like another box. And people are complicated, so people tend to pick and choose. People pick
Exactly.
and choose what they like.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And people don't tend to vote, based on left and right. They just kind of vote for what's most important for them, and you know, that's that's what they do. I think most people are centrists.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you there.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, so, have you noticed anything else you want to talk about or
Uh, Um,
bring up?
I don't know. What's your take on the whole Charlottesville thing, on the whole Charlottesville incident?
Well, at first I thought it was very confusing because I didn't have enough information
Mm-hmm.
on what happened, and I don't like to make a decision unless I get more information. And
Yeah.
according to the Ranting Monkey, he made a video showing that Antifa started the fights. Like you can see like
Oh,
a black guy, like you can see a black guy following following white supremacists with a
oh,
baseball bat or a pole, and he was just following around, following behind him, swinging it back, and he like made the first strike, and then he showed a black guy in a pink t-shirt, like I forgot what he did, but I think he pepper sprayed a white supremacist, and then they all ganged up on him and attacked him. But he started the fight. Now, of
oh!
course,
I didn't see all that.
I think that driving a car and running people over is terribly wrong,
Yes.
and the guy should like go to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
But it's
definitely.
but it's kind of a lot like I just I just think that um Antifa just starts a lot of crap. They just starts a lot of crap. So it, I I can't really. It's complicated because it's kind of a lot like if the roles were reversed. It's like change the roles. And what if black people wanted to march in a rally and like a bunch of white supremacists started following black people and started
Oh,
hitting them and whatnot? Like, would anybody be really upset or surprised if the next time black people showed up, they were more prepared to fight back?
that's true. That's a yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought of that. The only video I saw was of the guy just driving into the crowd. I didn't really see any other clearer footage. Um, Vice had a video, but they didn't really show that event really well, so it was kind of hard for me to tell like who started it and all that.
Yeah,
But
it's complicated because, and this is why I like Tim Pool's videos. Tim Pool has those really, really long 3-hour videos, so you could make an informed decision. But
yeah.
because I didn't see much clips, it's hard to say like this for sure. Like I know this for sure because you know, um, I haven't really seen the whole entire thing. And this is why I appreciate Sam Pool for going to these places and showing everything from beginning to end. Because what I see over and over and over again is Antifa starting conflict.
Yeah, they always seem to, they're always really antagonistic, and though and this time, the people that they were antagonistic against were right like ready to fight back because those alt-right guys, I think that they're stronger than Antifa, and someone got killed, so
Well,
yeah.
it's kind of like we all know that Antifa loves to fight and loves to get in conflict,
Yeah.
and sometimes the police they don't do their jobs,
No, they don't. No.
and I'm really angry about this. I really am angry about this because I would expect a strong police presence because
Yeah, same.
it is like, what is our tax dollars going to? It's kind of
Exactly.
like we pay uh our taxes. You're supposed to be there for peace, you know.
Exactly. The clip I
So
saw, there was no police to be found. I was just sort of saying, where are the police? I mean, break the whole fighting up.
but the problem is that this keeps happening over and over and over again, where there is not a strong police presence. It's not like a
Yeah,
one-time thing where it is once and that's it, and it's like,
yeah,
oh, okay, it's once. No, 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 it happens over and over and over again, and it's kind of a lot like, where are the police? Where are
mm.
us? I mean, where are the police? Uh,
Do you know how Antifa sort of came about? Because I only heard about them until like this year. I had no idea who they were, and I have no idea where they get like all their money and everything from, and how they organize themselves. Because there's so many of them, and they weren't around before. I only found out about them this year.
yeah, like, I haven't heard of Antifa until rather recently. Like, it's like they just seem to appear out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Oh, but I want to show something to you. I just got to share this with you. Um, but
Okay.
I think I noticed that YouTube says that they are flagging, or they're demonetizing uh videos with bad language in it. So what I'll do
Oh.
is YouTube says it's going to, like, I seen screenshots of it. I seen screenshots of it in Mr. Rep Sam's videos, and I've also seen screenshots of it in Computer Competing Forever's videos. So now I am being conscious not to swear in videos to see if my monetization will be green or yellow. And I wonder if swearing has anything to do with it.
Ah, that's I wouldn't be surprised because they keep demonetizing people.
So yes, I'm trying to see, like, I'm trying to see, like, if I don't use any swear words, would it stay green? But do you see what I'm showing to you right now?
Yes, I do.
You really bleeped us, Paul. We organized this event like we've done a million bleeping times before. We followed the formula that we've used in Europe and the US for years, i.e., show up, bleep up fascist faces, break some random bleep, watch the right wing tears, but this time was different, and it's your bleeping fault. We didn't get slaps on the wrist. We didn't get lost in the crowd. We got bleeping round up and arrested. Now some of us, like yours truly, got bailed out by our backers, but we have court dates and 10 bleeping years in jail for hundreds of us. This is bleeping insane. It's not fair. It's not bleeping fair. We're not fascist like you bleeps. We're the good guys. Oh my they did their Batman. They really did their Batman. Like we're the good guys. Batman.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Oh, it's like you're both bad. Just, oh man.
You have no idea how much this is hurting us. A bleep ton of our young members are just checking out because guess bleeping what? They don't want to go to jail. Bleep you, Pole. Bleep you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm. Um, but yeah, they only came about this year, and I've been but they're really hard. It's really hard to like sort of pinpoint where they came about.
Mm. Yeah, by the way, am I still screen sharing?
No, you're not. It's not come up.
Okay, I'll screen share again. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, it's kind of a lot like this is yellow, this is green, and I mean it's kind of weird. It's kind of like I think it's because I said the N word multiple times. I think that's it.
Ah,
No,
right. Yeah, that probably is why. Yeah.
but this is still green.
Yeah.
And let's see, this is green. This is yellow, yellow, yellow. How people view the religion of peace. I think it's because I didn't say anything offensive, and it's
Yeah.
kind of a lot like these slants and the Redskins' big win for free speech. That's still green. Lacy
Mm-hmm.
Green is yellow. Help our
Oh.
veterans is green.
Oh yeah.
This is yellow with a white YouTuber. And I don't think it's the title either. It's kind of like Sargon versus Vidcon Part One, green. Sargon versus Vidcon Part Two, yellow. You know,
Yeah. Ah, that's
the
strange.
rants. Okay, so here I did a video response to the ranting feminists. It's yellow, and you know how do SJWs come across to outsiders? Yellow. You know what? I just remembered something. I remembered something. What was
Oh
it?
yeah.
Nicholas Carroll. Nick Carroll said, "You cannot say SJW or feminism." I just heard it yesterday, and oh my goodness, I said feminist and SJW. So this video might not be appropriate for advertisers because I said feminist, but you know, I think it's because feminist is in the title of my video, and because feminist is in the title of my video, I think that's probably why it's demonetized. I think so.
Ah, that's strange. Why would they demonetize feminists? Like,
Uh,
someone saying feminist. I don't. That's strange.
oh, the ranting feminists also been affected, didn't you know?
No, I didn't.
Oh, the ranting feminists, the exact same thing happens to all of her videos.
Oh my gosh.
So it's not
Do you
like
think that do you think they'll like people will move on to a different platform? Because I'm seeing people use VidMe now.
yeah, people people are using VidMe more often now.
Okay. I wonder why YouTube is being so strict about this kind of thing because was it always like it wasn't always like this, and all of a sudden I'm just seeing everyone's videos get demonetized.
Oh, I could explain this to you. Uh, let's see. Let me just get back on the screen share. Okay, European commissions and IT companies announced code of conduct on illegal online hate speech.
Oh my gosh.
The commissions, together with Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Microsoft, the IT companies today unveil a code of conduct that includes a series of commitments to combat the spread of illegal hate speech online in Europe. So we Americans, well, you're from New Zealand, but we
Yeah.
Americans, well, everybody is affected by the EU's hate speech laws, and
Oh my. Oh, sorry.
this is why conservative Americans are heavily impacted by Facebook, and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube are like actively censoring conservative opinions, and it's why conservatives keep getting kicked off Twitter and they keep getting kicked off Facebook. It's because Europe is very, very liberal. It's very to the left. That's
Yeah,
the
it
reason
is.
why. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was actually reading an article a few months ago, and in France, they were trying to ban conservative websites, like pass laws or something to get conservative websites banned. And I just thought that's so stupid. Like, people can just, if they don't want to read, a conservative website, they don't have to read it, they can just ignore it.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I definitely know how you feel.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, sorry, that was me.
Oh, that's okay. So is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
Oh, not just decided to read some of the comments. There's a guy in the comments. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I think it's Aus and I'm just just reading some of chats like it's alive. He says that Res is a feminist. I didn't know that. I wasn't sure. I speculated that she might be, but I haven't
Yep.
seen much of her videos. But he's informing me that Res is indeed a feminist. And
Okay.
he says centrist push rights bills through. Um, Carlos Davis says, always remember liberals get the bullet too. Indeed they do. Indeed they do, my friend. They certainly do.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Uh-huh.
I used to think that like liberals were just sort of, really on the left, but like there are a lot of people who are liberals but not completely on the left. I feel like the left has just become more radical over the years,
Yeah,
They sort of don't they sort of don't accept that people have different opinions.
because I also was to the left. I was to the left myself, not that long ago, but the left
Mm.
has gotten too far left for me. It's
Yeah,
kind
same.
of it's kind of like they became too authoritarian,
Yeah.
too extreme. Where before I was happy being to the left. I was proud to the left, and I enjoyed being to the left, but it's
Yeah,
kind of
same.
it just got too. It's kind of like I'm black myself. I mean, you're probably white, but I'm black, and I have like white feminist saying this offends black people, that offends black
Yeah.
people, and it's weird because it's like I could speak for myself, and it's like they want me to follow the narrative, and if I don't follow the narrative, then I'm a coon, and then
I know
or
it's a ridiculous how they do that. I'm Middle Eastern myself, and they kind of do the same thing. Like they take like the most stereotypical, they'll look at the most stereotypical aspects of Arabs and stuff and think and act like we all have to be that way. Like we all have to be think like AJ plus or something, and it's just ridiculous.
yeah, if you're not a victim, they hate you.
Pretty much. Pretty
And like,
much.
like if you say like I'm black and that actually does sense offend me, or I'm a woman and that does sense offend me, and it's kind of a lot like I would get told off by like white female feminists. Well, like sometimes, like on one occasion, one person's like, I do not mean to white explain, but you are robbing the experiences of black people who do go through this. And it's kind of a lot like, it's so weird. So it's kind of like you got to be like a constant victim or they don't like you.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like I can't remember. I think once I was complaining about the sort of the government and stuff in the Middle East because the government in the Middle East is really corrupt and like a lot of our culture the culture is kind of oppressive to women, and they were like that's so rude and like that's so offensive. Like these white girls were telling me this, and I'm like this is like aspects of my culture that I don't like, and want to talk about them because I think they're issues.
Yeah, like if you're a Muslim, you cannot speak, or if you're Middle Eastern, you cannot speak out against what's going on in Muslim majority countries. Like I
Yeah,
saw a video, I think it was on Sarkis channel, but he got it from like Twitter, where it's kind of like there are Muslims or ex-Muslims or gay Muslims trying to speak out against, you know, the horrors of Islam. And then you have white liberals saying, you're a bigot and you're a racist. And so you're saying this
yeah,
to Middle Easterners. You're saying this to Muslims or gay Muslims or ex-Muslims. I think they were ex-Muslims, but they want
yeah.
to talk Muslims, white people go like, well, you're a racist, white liberals will demonize, black people, Hispanic people, they would demonetize a quote person of color, anybody who's non-white that speaks out.
Yeah, I saw that video you're talking about, and it's ridiculous. And because they're usually supposed they like liberals are the people who are for gay rights and stuff, so they shouldn't be against Arabs speaking about it in Arab countries because like gay people do get treated like shit, absolute shit in Arab countries. They really do, and a lot of women aren't, and not all women, like my mum, for example, like she was, she's a doctor and everything, so she could sort of like, she wasn't oppressed or anything like that. But a lot of women aren't as lucky, they are actually oppressed in Arab countries, especially in Saudi Arabia. And
Yeah,
Arabs should be able to talk about it quite freely, especially in a Western country.
but you can't talk about it freely in a Western country.
Yeah.
It's Islamophobic and it's bigotry against I don't know the religion.
Yeah, it's just they think it's like racist against Arabs to say that, but it's not actually because a lot of a lot of Arabs, especially the ones in the West, they don't really like that kind of stuff. And when someone is brave enough to speak about it, it's a good thing, and they shouldn't be shut down for it. Even Bill Maher, I really appreciate Bill Maher for calling those people out.
Yeah, me too. Sam Harris also did the same, I think.
Yes, yeah, Sam Harris did do the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and, or like that's what we were talking about earlier. It's kind of like I remember seeing this video of these two, like they look like teenagers. One was a blonde white girl, another was like an Asian teenager. They were like about the same age, and there's this like Hispanic for Trump, and he was like this elderly Hispanic guy, and they kept calling him a bitch. You know, it's like listen up, you little bitch, you bitch, you bitch, and it's kind of like it's
Yeah,
funny. Yeah,
I
it's
met this. I met this when I was in the States. I spent some time. I went there earlier this year, and I spent some time earlier in the year in LA. And like, I met an Egyptian Trump supporter. He was like, "You might not expect it, but I'm a Trump supporter." He's like, "I didn't." He was like, "I didn't like Hillary, and I wanted to vote for her." So, and he said that he got a lot of. And I met this other Indian guy, and he said he got a lot of hate for supporting Trump. Like people were telling him Trump just wants to get rid of you from the country and everything like that.
I am so lucky to live in Alabama. Yeah, it's great that I live in Alabama because it's so okay that I voted for Trump here.
Yeah, yeah. In LA, it's probably, not socially acceptable.
Yeah, if I was in LA, I'll probably get terribly mistreated.
Mm, yeah. Um, I didn't spend a very long time there though, but the weather was so nice. It was beautiful weather, so much nicer than where I live.
Oh, New Zealand doesn't have nice weather.
It sort of rains a lot, and it's like we don't really get a hot summer. I mean, the weather is very mild, like you won't get too much snow like you would in America, but it's not super warm during summer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Australia though is a lot hotter. Australia is much warmer than New Zealand.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll go through some more of the comments since I don't think I got a lot of comments in chats. Carlos says they are commies. They don't want civil rights at all. Alciar says they want an unattainable utopia. I think he's talking about the feminists.
Oh yeah.
Car- Carlos says neocons, neolibs, and progressives are all bleeping dumb. Skeptic says they want to paint the threats as if it's just about to happen tomorrow and it's going to destroy humanity. Carlos Davis says they should all be charged under the Trades Description Act. Skeptic says pretty easy to oppose guys chanting blood and soil and the guys trying to start fights with their bats and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Officer says the police held back at Berkeley as well. I know. I definitely know.
Do you
We,
think it's just because they sort of are on Antifa's side that the
oh, I
police hold
definitely
back?
think that. I definitely think so.
Yeah, because from what I see, the cops in the States, like they are so much more, they are so much tougher than the cops we have in New Zealand. Like cops in New Zealand don't walk around with guns. So I'm very surprised at the sort of hands-off approach they've taken with Antifa.
Carlos David says Spencer is just on an ego trip, in my opinion, but I don't think I've mentioned Richard Spencer at all. And
Oh
his
yeah.
last comments is anti-Arab racism is when I call Habib an oil Jew and he laughs.
Oh my gosh.
Um, do you watch Prince of Queens?
I do. He has a good channel. I like his channel.
He has this video. I don't know if you've seen it, but in his channel he says, what did he say? He talked about protests like Occupy Wall Street, like in the past, like in the early 2000s. How
Oh,
uh, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
oh yeah, the Occupy Wall Street. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, what was it? I never watched the video.
Yeah, and like how there's strong police brutality, in America way back when, where people, including Prince of Queens, including Prince of Queens, people were just trying to get home, and even though people were just trying to get home, including Prince, the police would still spray them with tear gas and beat
Oh
them,
my God.
even when they did nothing. And now,
Oh my God.
and the police got really bad press all over
Mm-hmm.
the world. So he says that he thinks that the media is now trying to be on the protester side because earlier they were on the police side. So now they're trying to improve their image by being on the protester side now.
That could be true. And another thing is that yeah, that could be a possibility actually. Yeah, and they probably have a lot of pressure from, you know, because the police have been demonized a lot, like you've said, even with the Black Lives Matter protesting, they could be now wanting to be on the protesters' side to improve their image. That's definitely the,
Yeah,
that's
because
definitely could have been.
Yeah, because if you know about the history of America segregation, the police would hose black people, and the police would stick dogs on black people, even black people
Yeah.
who didn't do nothing. And so now,
Mm.
whenever a black person gets in a conflict with the white cop, the media are just takes the black person's side no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do, do you think it's because, usually because the person, do you think it's because the cops are intimidating or the person is just not the person is just not complying with the cops' orders?
I mean, we're dealing with individuals here. So
True.
in America, it's a big country. America is
Yeah,
really, really huge. And it's why I hate socialism for America, because America is like different countries rolled
that's
up
true.
into one. For real, America really is like a very different countries rolled up into one. Like I've noticed Southerners are more similar to each other. Like me, your boy Pats, Nicholas Carroll, and Reaper, all of us Southerners are more similar to each other, and we're more estranged from the Northerners.
Oh, right. So it's sort of like two countries in one country. Like it's very diverse.
Yeah, and it's why I hate socialism, and I hate how, about like federal laws that and how liberals want more and more and more left-leaning laws that affect the whole entire country because it's kind of a lot like the left doesn't appreciate that we're really more closer to like separate countries all rolled up into like one country, but we're really like separate countries though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. In New Zealand, it's totally different. It's such a small country, so I think it's easier to have certain programs and stuff. It doesn't feel like the government is overreaching too much, but I can understand why it would feel like that in the States because you've got your state government and the federal government, so it would feel like too much government.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and liberals didn't consider that different, states would have different economic needs. And
Exactly.
some of their economic policies doesn't even work in California because many Californians leave California, but then when they leave California, they try to, elect the same type of communists, into office, and so that other states could be like California, even though they left California, they they repeat these same mistakes, expecting different results.
I see. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. And the state is totally different and has different needs. Yeah. I can understand why that would be difficult.
Yeah, a more rural area will have different needs than a big city, for example.
Mm, yeah. Like New York, for example, the people would be different, the state's needs would be different.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like I think I feel like it may be better if we could just, I don't know, if some states did secede from the United States, because I don't know. It does seem like, we should secede perhaps.
Right. I mean, do you think like certain states could sustain on their own, like California or Texas? Do you think they could sustain on their own if they did secede?
I don't think so because so many people hate them now. They have did such a great job pissing people off. And the reason why I say that is because there is a lot of actors and actresses in Hollywood, and Hollywood
Yeah.
benefits from the actors and actresses. But Hollywood and whatnot is part of the United States. And the
Mm,
FBI protects movies. Like if you pirate a video, let's
yeah.
say you were to pirate a video, you would be committing a federal crime and you could spend like 25 years in prison for downloading a video. You're
Oh my
technically not supposed to
gosh.
do it. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to look it up, but I think it's
Yeah.
so. Don't take my word for it because I'm not actually
Okay.
sure. I just made that up. But I do know you go to federal prison for illegally downloading movies. And actors keep Hollywood successful. Now, if Hollywood were to, well, if California were to secede from the United States, I'm pretty sure that the Republicans would just go and live in right wing states and be happy. But then we could probably start illegally downloading movies without any punishments, because like
Yeah.
way you could already download anime from Japan without punishments, and Japan is
Mm-hmm.
like our allies. But you could download Japanese movies, you could download like Japanese anime with no punishments, including a torrent. Like you could do a torrent. It's torrents. I would. I did torrent a Japanese film, And I mean, the tournaments are like for a lot.
Just hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I have to go now. My my family's here and everything, and it's probably going to get loud soon.
It's okay. I am so glad you came. Thank you for chatting to me.
It's all right. It was nice chatting to you too.
It was nice chatting with you. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Bye. Bye.